Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll start with second scrimmage of the fall over the weekend. Just for your position group, I guess, who really stood out or shown this weekend in the scrimmage?
Not a lot of people stood out, I mean, just throughout this fall camp, there's been a lot of people who stepped up in different instances, so I'll pretty much say there was positive things from everybody.
What do you feel like has been the biggest growth for the wide receivers this fall?
Well, I was taught to them about 3 things to do your job at elite levels: knowing what to do, know how to do it, and having the desire to do that. So we just continue to try to improve upon that every single day, and I would say we took a step from the spring until now on doing that.
Coach, we've heard Zede Haynes has been giving people a lot of problems in camp. I mean, his speed is certainly an attribute to his game, but what else makes him that player that's standing out in camp?
I think Zede is a young ascending player. I mean, he's fast, he's quick, he has good ball skills. I mean, everything that makes a good receiver, he has all those qualities. So it's been good competition between him and all the defensive backs.
How did he mentioned that he spent a lot of time in the offseason with Kyle, so I'm sure that's part of it, but how did he establish that connection with Kyle so quickly?
I mean, both of them, both of them are from Philadelphia. They grew up, they knew each other. So they're guys that, good players, they get together, they kind of figure out the nuances for each other. Like, how do I run this route? How do I want you to run this route? So they just kind of linked up, got together, they've had a lot of reps together. So it's been positive for both of them.
Fran was saying that, I mean, naturally, your position groups have a lot of competition. Even you two have some competition going on. What's that been like?
Nah, me and Coach Fran, I mean, it goes back to when we were at Rutgers together. I mean, I was his GA, so we'd always compete with each other every day. And now that I'm back here, naturally he coaches defensive backs. I coach wideout, so it's a natural competition every day. But I'm blessed to go against him. I think he's the best defensive back coach in the country, so I know I got to bring my A game every single day. Otherwise, we're not going to have a good day that day. So, but now it's been good competition between all the wideouts and defensive backs. So I'm just looking forward to that because iron sharpens iron. So when we continue to compete like that, we'll be ready to go on Saturdays.
Which of the DBs have given your group the most trouble in practice?
I'll say, I won't leave anybody out. I'll say a lot of them. I mean, a guy like Clarence Lewis, he's played a lot of football, Notre Dame. He's savvy, Elijah Clark, freaking Deuce Chestnut, Justin Barron, Jaden Bellamy. I mean, a lot of them. I could name a bunch of them that Marcellus Barnes has stepped up. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, Coach Fran coaches them up. He does a good job, so it's going to be competitive every day.
You've heard Marcellus's name a lot, known from the DBs as well as the coaching staff. What makes his skill set so good?
I don't know. I think Marcellus is a freshman. He's like 18. He's like 18 going on 36. So he's very, very mature, and he goes about his business the right way. So I think that really helps him, and that's why he's been able to practice pretty well and give a lot to do some good competition.
Of course, Zede's not the only one from Georgia. You got Jackson Lakes in that room as well. What is having those two guys coming from Georgia and coming from a team that knows what Fran Brown wants into this wide receiver room? What does that do to that wide receiver room?
No doubt, 2 different kind of players. I mean, you got a young player, then you got a guy who's been around it for 3 years and played some football, on special teams, and has got some snaps on offense. So you kind of got the guy who's been there, won 2 national titles, and you kind of have a young ascending player who he took under his wing at Georgia. So it's just been, they've both been great for the room. I mean, both have good energy, positivity, and they add to our room, and I'm blessed to be able to coach them.
Coach, how big is it for your wide receiver room to, especially in the run game, to learn to get downfield and get blocking to help free up more lanes downfield?
Oh, absolutely. I have a job description. It's on my board. I don't know if y'all ever been there, but number 4 says no block, no rock. So if they don't block in the run game, they're not going to get the ball. So for me, the one thing I also always tell them, I always say the offensive line is responsible for the efficiency of the run, like getting the ball through the line of scrimmage. The wide receivers are responsible for the explosive plays down the field. So we take that very, very seriously. And they'll know, you can tell them, you can just ask any wide receiver, like, what happens if we don't block in the run game? They'll be like, oh yeah, you can take it out. They know. That's how we get down.
A lot of new faces we've asked about, but returning guy, Amari Hatcher, how does he kind of stabilize the room? Do you see him as a leader in there? Or what do you see?
Yeah, I see him as, he played a lot of football last year. He was out for about half the spring. Now he's back. He's kind of got back into the swing of things, but very positive camp so far. I like working with him again. He just adds to the competition. He helps our room grow.
Putting your passing game coordinator hat on, how do you integrate those tight ends? What's kind of your approach?
One thing I've been taught since I was in high school, offensive football is about players, formation, and plays. So when you find out who your players are, who your playmakers, who can do what, then you formation them so you can be advantageous against the defense, and then it's your plays after that. I mean, offensive football, college football, a lot of people run the same stuff. It's just about who's doing what, though. So you spend spring ball and camp trying to figure that out. But we have a lot of good capable tight ends and the run game man in the pass game. So it's just on us to be able to get them the football in proper situations.
Well, you were working with Fran at Rutgers. Can you take me through how your relationship with him developed and how that led to you joining him in his staff at Syracuse?
It's kind of crazy. I think our relationship really started because we were coaching at a camp together. He was like the co-DC or something at Temple. I was a young defensive back coach. I was a GA. at that time, and we linked up at a camp and saw me coaching and took a liking to me. We just kind of stayed in contact, and you know, when Coach Ash there got fired and I kind of got wind that he might be joining Coach Shiano's staff, we just kind of stayed in touch like that. It's actually Coach Fran's reason, because when Coach Shiano came, a lot of the people who I had GA with and kind of some of the sports staff kind of got fired. So I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was next. So for Coach Fran came in, he kind of stuck his neck out on the line for me. For Coach Shiano, kept me around. And then, I mean, shit, we're during COVID, so we literally spent like dang near every waking moment together. So that's kind of how it developed. And I went off, we went our separate ways. He went to Georgia, I went to New England, and kind of just kept in contact, you know. You know what I mean? I was there, like when his daughter was born, he sent pictures of his daughter. When my son was born, he sent pictures of my son. Just kind of staying in contact. He's truly like a big brother to me, so that's kind of how it kind of grew. And when he got the job, man, I mean, it's no brainer to come join him and help this thing take off.
So as you approach the season, how big is it for, you know, you go through like a grueling like spring ball training camp, but now you kind of get into like the real grind of the season, but like game day is kind of like the big celebration.
Yeah.
So how big is it to like keep everyone focused, but then also kind of enjoy the moment as well?
We got to stay focused, because I tell these guys all the time. I mean, we had 12 guaranteed opportunities on Thursday. We have a Thursday game this year, a Friday game, a Saturday. We get about 3.5 hours every single week to put our best performance on in front of all of our fans. So, but it's all about the process of getting there. Like, we can't just slack through the process and then show up on Saturday and roll the ball out and think we're going to beat a good team, because there's some good teams on our schedule. So now we got to fall in love with the process. We got to fall in love with doing it right. So now we enjoy the moment. We stay in the moment. We stay present, because every day we can't count the days. We got to make them count. So that's just what we're focused on right now.
When you look at the leadership of Fran Brown, I know you mentioned a little bit here, but just what it's been like to see his leadership throughout this entire staff, and how that's kind of maybe brought everybody together as you train these young student athletes.
Yeah, one thing about Coach Fran is the same guy that I met, what's this year, 2024, I think I met him in 2019. Same guy I met 5 years ago. He's the exact same person as a head coach. I mean, there's no, oh, I got the head coaching seat, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, I think he took his collective experience that he learned from, you know, Baylor with Coach Rule, you know, Coach Smart down there at Georgia. I think he took the collective experience, but he put his own little twist on it. So it's been positive to see him as a leader and him grow within the role, and I'm excited to take the field with him here in a couple weeks.
Coach Fran was saying he wants to see Kyle use his feet more. How have you seen that through camp, and just where do you think he's at?
I think Kyle's more athletic than people give him credit for. Not going to say that he's going to be a triple option quarterback or anything like that, but I mean, when he's in trouble, he can extend plays and make some plays down the field with his feet, whether he's buying time to throw it or whether he's trying to get a couple extra yards and scramble on the third down. I think he's more athletic than people give him credit for. So I think our strength and staff has done a great job with that. So it's been good to see him put the work in.